All right, back with the fellas, and I'm going to go with our resident Steeler here first, Mac. There's certain core tenets of Pittsburgh Steeler football, and it feels like we didn't see all of those. Red zone issues, special teams errors. What'd you make of this performance and maybe the way that the Steelers lost themselves in those biggest moments?
Well, we didn't see the same offensive efficiency that we saw last week by Aaron Rodgers against the New York Jets. For some reason, it seemed like the rhythm was never there. They ran the football a little better. That's an improvement. But outside of that, the passing game, it was up and down, to say the least. They didn't do a good job in protecting Aaron Rodgers. He was sacked, 3 times, but he was harassed for 4 quarters throughout that ball game, and he never really got an opportunity to find his stride. And when you talk about special teams, that has been a unit that we have applauded, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their ability to be clutch, be extremely smart, no mental lapse, special team success. We did not see that today. The young rookie Caleb Johnson, with these new rules that we're all trying to figure out as we go, kickoff rules, when the ball is in play, you touch the football, it's a live football. Unfortunately, he was not aware of that. That led to the game-sealing touchdown for the Seattle Seahawks that paved the way for them to have a huge, much-needed win.
Pat, losses are losses. We've talked about this while we watch games, but you said as we came on here, this is a bad loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is that relative to expectation, relative to execution? What do you make of this performance?
I think it's a little bit of both, execution and expectation, because when you look at it, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I still have concerns about their defense. They had the Seattle Seahawks scored 23 unanswered points in the second half. That is not a Pittsburgh staple for an organization. They love to lean on their defense, and when it comes to the fourth quarter, they want to be able to close these games out. And another thing about the offense, they're picking up Aaron Rodgers too much off the ground. They're picking him up too much off the ground, and Jalen Warren cannot be your lead receiver with 4 catches, 86 yards. They have to find a way to get DK Metcalf involved, Calvin Austin, and protect Aaron Rodgers much better than they have been the first 2 weeks.
And Roman Wilson.
Yeah.
Remember, he was a high drafted player a year ago. He missed the entire season, but remember, they were saying great things about Roman Wilson coming out of camp. He only had 1 catch. His first career catch happened today. So to your point, the passing game got to find some playmakers.
Plenty of positives on the other side. 395 total yards, 295 through the air for Sam Darnold. 2 touchdowns to his 2 interceptions. But how important was this performance to go on the road and come home with 1?
Well, it was huge. And I think what we have seen, whether Pete Carroll is the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks or Mike McDonald is, they know how to win when they go across time zones and they play those early, what should be early to the Seattle body clock, those games. They continue to win them. I think 20-4 in their last 24 when they play Sunday 1 p.m. Eastern games. So kudos to them and their staff and operation there. I didn't think that the Seattle Seahawks played all that poorly last week. I think a ball here or there, and they would have beaten
2 plays.
Right.
Yeah, 2 plays.
And they would have beaten the San Francisco 49ers. We're talking about a 2-0 Seattle Seahawks team, right? But you get 100 yards from Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba, essentially. You get 100 yards out of Kenneth Walker Jr., you're usually going to win those games. But, Pat, you bring up a great point about the Pittsburgh Steelers and that defense. And last week, I think a lot of people swept under the rug, you and I did not, about their defense, right? When they won 34-32 against the New York Jets team and an offense that we said weren't expecting much. And we said, oh, they'll get it figured out. That defense will get it figured out. Second half, they get outscored 24-3. And now you look at a Jets team, and maybe that was an impressive win for the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. Maybe Aaron Rodgers was vintage Aaron Rodgers. Jets just lost by 20 points at home. So not entirely sure that this is a good Pittsburgh Steelers team.